time for a garden tour. Let's get started. There's the green beans. Here is one of the last Japanese beetles of the season. Chicken's got that beetle. We did get quite a bit rain last night, and then we got some more this morning throughout the day. It probably stopped mid-afternoon. Now sky is nice and blue, so it's a beautiful evening to film a garden tour. The tomatoes, guys, you guys are just doing so good this year. This is a yellow brandywine. This is a yellow brandywine over here that I can go ahead and pick right here. It's ripe. On the seed packets, it said these were supposed to be ready faster than the pink brandywines, or it didn't say that specifically, but the day to maturity rate was a lot quicker, maybe 15 days quicker. And honestly, I harvested 6 pink brandywines before I harvested this one. It's my first yellow brandywine, and I had about the same number of plants, so that's kind of a big deal. I don't know what was going on there, if it was just happened by chance, if they're really about the same day. But anyway, that's one big tomato. I'm gonna guess that weighs in at about a pound. That's gonna make some nice sandwiches tomorrow. That's all I'm gonna say right there. Some old Germans, they're not ripe yet, but this one over here is. I just had one on my sandwich the other day. Actually, it was delicious. Okay guys, I just realized I wasn't recording for the last shot, unfortunately, but what I wanted to say was this is one of the Homestead tomato plants. It's doing pretty good, pretty green, little healthy plant there, but it's just only about 2 feet tall. If you look at some of my other plants, you know, they're just a lot taller. Now part of that is it is competing with the lawn for some of its nutrients. You know, the lawn is right here. It's literally on the exact edge of the garden, guys. And it's only getting about 6 hours of sun a day now that we have because it's just getting shaded by these big, huge bushes. So it probably loses sun by at least 3 in the afternoon. Doesn't get any sun the rest of the day. So next year we are going to be moving the tomato patch that way more and replacing this with a bean patch, whether that's in a raised bed or not, replacing the last 3 rows of tomatoes with the bean patch. Because I noticed after the 3 rows there, then these plants, the next plants, are a lot taller, a lot bigger, because they have enough more sun than those tomatoes over there. So we're just going to be moving the tomatoes this way, pushing them this way, maybe growing a few more plants than usual, bringing the tomatoes out to right here, and then just starting the squash and taking it over all the way to about right here, extending the garden about 8 feet over. And our plan is to just expand the squash patch a little, expand the tomatoes a little, and expand our green bean growing room over here, because we eat a lot of those. This is the biggest pumpkin that I'll probably be growing this year. It's big. These cosmos behind me are doing great. I grew them for cut flowers. They also just look good too at the edge of the garden. Good border. I also have some zinnias down there. I'll take you in for a closer look on some of those. If you are new to the channel, haven't been watching since the spring, this strawberry bed wraps around. The pen goes around that way, and we planted some June-bearing strawberry plants in it in May or April. I forgot the exact time. But anyways, I think they're ever-bearing plants because they didn't produce a lot in June, and now they're producing again. And they've just been flowering the whole summer. So even though we wanted some June-bearing plants, because our ever-bearing plants we weren't super happy with, they only give you a few strawberries every now and then. And the strawberries honestly aren't the best tasting. So next year maybe we'll try it again with some, hopefully get some June bearing ones this time. So I don't know if they just got mixed up at the supplier, they got mixed up at the garden center or whatever, but hopefully we can do some June bearings sometime. Inside the pen, I do have these 2 tomato cages. They do need to be picked. Pole beans, Bush Lake 47 pole beans, I believe. So great little green bean. We like canning these. We just love eating the green beans from our garden. The ones from the store, not so much. But yeah, these are great little green beans. I also have some cabbages in there. Maybe I'll get a head or two, a little head or two. Anyway, they didn't do great. A lot of them died. I also have some Sweet 100 tomatoes in there. And go check out my last video up in the iCard. I did a tomato taste test between a Sun Gold and Sweet 100, which one I liked better. Go check that out. I also have some a pink brandywine plant in there, and then that's it for the pen. I did try to grow some cucumbers in here. Only one came up. I did do a second planting. None came up. And then the little plant that I did have, it just got shredded in like a day by insects. I came back, it was literally like brown remains, and it was all chewed up by clearly insects. So not a great year for cucumbers. Hopefully we can buy some cucumbers. We got some dill, so we can still make some pickles. So dill pickles, sweet pickles, yeah. Onto the raised bed, I have these 2 volunteer tomato plants. I did think they were Romas at first, then they didn't get any bigger. They started turning ripe, and I realized they're actually just grape tomatoes. So like grape tomatoes you would get from the store, so we must have had grape tomatoes. Threw them in a worm bin. The seeds actually sprouted. One sprouted in my baby banana tree pot. One sprouted, where was it now? One sprouted in my oregano that I was trying to start as seeds from seeds. So I kept the seedlings. Now I've got 2 awesome grape tomato plants, which are giving me tons of tomatoes. Tons of tomatoes. I love grape tomatoes, so that's awesome, guys. I mean, I'm not complaining about extra tomatoes that I don't plan to grow, but yeah, just lots of tomatoes. These plants are loaded. Other stuff in the raised bed, I got these jalapeno peppers growing in here. Get me some on that looks like a bell pepper. That's some kale that's getting shredded by these little green caterpillars. I might just take that out. That's my compost pile right there. That's my mini hoop house I made this past spring. That's some weeds that should probably be cut down. Over here, I got all this grass and stuff, you guys. Honestly, I'm not too worried about it. I'll just mulch over it next year. But inside here, or down here, we got some more bell peppers. Those suckers are getting big. Hopefully I can make some salsa soon. And then down in here, I've got carrots. Those are the short and sweet variety from Burpee Seeds. My leaf lettuce all went to seed except for this one. No, that's not one of my leaf lettuce plants. Anyways, all my leaf lettuce looks like it got taken out. My red romaine lettuce died. My leaf lettuce just bolted. And yeah, that was the end of that. These 2 carrots are plants from MI Gardener Seeds. That one looks like it's going to be a big carrot sometime. And I got this gourd plant I have to show you guys. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 gourds all on just 1 gourd plant. Guys, that is insane. Other side of my raised bed, I got some peas coming up from my fall garden, just sugar snap peas. I did plant some lettuce and stuff too. Looks like it's not coming up very well. It looks like I might have 1 radish that did sprout over there. I don't know. I planted a whole ton of root crops. Doesn't look like they're sprouting very well. I did plant lettuce. I don't know if I did any of it coming up. Might have to replant that lettuce. But anyway, my peas from my fall garden are coming up. Looks like they're being nibbled on a little bit. Hopefully they'll do just fine. There's a cool little pumpkin I got right there. Here's some lemon boy tomatoes. The plant is Burpee brand, I believe. It's got the plant from my local garden center because I only wanted 1 plant. Didn't want to buy a pack of like 25 seeds to only grow 1 plant. But anyway, there's the plant. It's nice and healthy. This is actually a piece of wood I ripped off a pallet. So got it for free. Nice tomato steak. Over here, we got some more pink brandywines. More pink brandywines. There's a chicken tractor, you guys. These are some of my sun gold, sun sugars, whatever you want to call them. Look at this branch of tomatoes, you guys. That is absolutely insane. How many tomatoes are going to be on that branch if all of these got pollinated? But anyways, look at that. They are some of the sweetest tomatoes, you guys. Grow them next year in your garden if you don't grow them already. Alright guys, there's a bunch more gourds down in there. So that's cool. I have a ton of gourds all throughout there. There's one. There's a bunch of mystery squash, probably from volunteers. There's another little squash in there. I do have a spaghetti squash on the edge of my herb garden, which I'll show you guys next. So that's my herb garden. I got the oregano on that side, as you can see. Basil. I got the spaghetti squash. The plant grew up over there. It vined way over here. Laid down a spaghetti squash. I got my dill plant right here. One of my dill plants. I also got another volunteer out in the big garden. We'll be heading out there shortly. Here's one of my 2 tomatillo plants. I harvested 2 of these suckers off of this plant already. Basically, once they fill out the husk, it basically looks like a green tomato inside, although it is not a tomato. It is a tomatillo. Look them up. They're kind of cool. You can use them in salsas, chilies, whatever you want. But yeah, once the husk turns more of a tan color, and that green little tomato looking like thing in there fills it out, then they're ready to pick. But that's a cool plant. Super easy to grow, easier than tomatoes. I didn't have to prune or cage them or tie them up at all. I guess you could, but they get nice and big and bushy. Don't seem to have any problems with the disease. I've got my other plant over here looking good too. Okay guys, I'm out walking towards the big garden. We're in the big garden. I got behind me right here, this is one of the bottle gourd plants. This is super cool, guys. Find a bottle gourd for you. Okay, right in here behind me here, I have this bottle gourd. Look at that. That's cool or what? That is a nice little bottle gourd. Hopefully it'll grow up, dry out in time, so I can make a nice dried out gourd out of it. This is my straw bale garden. The bottle gourds are growing in it. The sugar snap peas are growing in it. Their roots are in that part. I harvested some peas today. Got some peas on it. Still, it looks like I'll have peas for quite a while yet. And then I'll have peas for my fall garden, so that's awesome. I actually planted that this spring, and I planted the rest of my garden. It just got eaten off so many times by a deer and had to regrow so many times. So it took a while for it to get to finally producing peas. Brandywine pink tomato plant, my straw bale garden, it's doing good. It's actually loaded up with tomatoes now, guys. So hopefully I'll get a bunch more tomatoes off of it before the first frost. It's doing terrific. If you guys don't already know, I am in Wisconsin, so first frost will be around October 1st to October 4th, somewhere in there. There's the cover crops right behind me there. Got that one and then that one. I'm growing some clover in that right there, so hopefully we can mow that down with the chickens in their chicken tractors later this year yet. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, be sure to do so. Hit thumbs up on the video, comment down below. See you right back here on the next one. Alice Homestead. See you guys.